Hello there and welcome back. Today Stephen and Christian keep disconnecting. Stephen gets mad but we all have a little giggle. So sit back, Jack, and enjoy.
Right, was that the signalling?
That might have just been a signal.
So, hang on,
you
Cara, why are
giggling
you laughing? No, do you know what's happened? It's one of them, like, as soon as we get to start, it was like, yep, been waiting all fucking day for this, and then Cara's just like, do you know what? TikTok's looking very inviting right now.
TikTok, tickety tick TikTok.
Anyway, so,
TikTokity tick TikTok.
for this episode, I wanted to hear your opinions on the topic of creativity. No, Christian, creativity.
It's where one man and a woman, or
It's
a
like a
man and
battery.
and a woman love each other very much,
Christian,
but they don't want a child,
Christian, shut up.
so they may have a white poo.
Christian, wait, what? Where did that come? What?
Well, if you don't clean yourself out and you do the bit of a
Okay,
bumhole
I've clicked
thing,
onto what you mean.
and
Shut
you
the fuck
don't,
up.
you know.
Shut up. Right, no, seriously. I have been wanting to talk to you about creativity on here, because obviously there are so many different variants of creativity, and I know Cara, she's quite the artist. In fact, when my cat TJ passed away, it was her who designed the little memorial thing that I ended up printing and painting.
I thought you were going to say fucking cremated him.
I'm a professional cremator that will happily burn your loved pet.
Knew it. All along.
Well, this conversation took a dark turn very quickly.
If you can't accept death, you shouldn't be alive.
I don't think that's how it works, but you know.
Yeah, Christian, like, whatever you've smoked, don't smoke it again, because, yeah. Anyway, actually, yeah, quick comments. You know that joke you made about, sniffing glue in there? Why is it that, like, what type of glue, now this, you probably might not want to answer this considering how we are, uploading this to YouTube and the like, but what kind of glue is it that you can actually get high on? Because I'm quite certain it's not super glue.
To be honest, I have no idea, but I always thought it was pretty sick.
I would assume so as well, because when I know Cara knows this story. I went out to, I think I was going to Lidl or whatever, and I saw some Gorilla Glue there, and I thought, do you know what? I need to top up on my glue for my builds. Why not get some? And she just said to me, have you got any ID? So I looked her straight in the eye, grabbed my beard, and I said, I would have thought this was enough ID. And apparently it's not.
Wow.
And when I went ask, that's the thing, right? I don't know why I was asked for ID for this, because clearly I look old enough.
Well,
But it's one of them, like, I believe it's got something to do with, safety. Like, you can't even buy a butter knife because it's technically a knife.
could spread doom all over the city.
I suppose, in some twisted way, you could. I won't tell you what I'm getting at when it comes to super glue. Who in the right mind looks at that and goes, yeah, I can get high off that? If you've ever smelled the fumes from super glue,
Well, can't people get
You
high
know
off
you
sniffing dog shit?
Gorilla
get
Glue's
higher.
not really super glue, it's contact adhesive, and it's contact adhesives, it's contact cement that gets you high, because it's
right,
ripped
yeah.
on.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. That would kind of make sense. And to answer your question, Christian, I do believe there are people who do try to get high off feces. I don't know the science
Yes,
behind
it's
it,
a
I
thing.
just know it's effing disgusting.
I'm sorry, I say shit and you go effing. Since when did you have manners?
Since 5 fucking seconds ago. Oh, no, I slipped up. Anyway, moving forwards.
Why can't
So-
I move sideways? It's more interesting.
Christian, you're in a silly mood tonight, aren't you?
I am, yes. I'm trying
Have you had any sugar?
No.
Because if you have, put the drink down.
I'm just trying to make more conversation so it's not that Stephen chats bollocks and we tolerate it.
No, I'm well aware of that, and I'm just feeding into it.
That's
Yeah.
what she said.
I don't know why she said that.
What about
So,
feeding into
anyway,
it?
Right, so anyway, going back to the topic I wanted to talk about. When it comes to creativity, there are many forms of it. The reason why I wanted to hear Cara's opinion about it is because she has obviously done a fair bit in the sense of creativity. Like, we're talking with the gamer tags that we have for Xbox Live. She designed mine, she designed her own, and she designed a few others for our other mates.
I'm sorry,
Uh,
but
go on.
yours is just your name.
I'm talking about the picture.
You said tag.
Yeah, gamer. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, the gamer picture for the gamer tag. Whatever. The point is the picture. The little symbol that you have for your gamer tag. Yeah, she designed that. It's like I even tried designing my own as well for everyone, and I was quite proud of it, but no one fucking used them. As soon as Cara designs them, one for herself, everyone's like, "Oh my god, do one for me." So, you know, that shot me right in the pride.
Well,
but you know what?
Because I have tits.
For creativity, Steve, it has to be said. From what I've seen of you guys, Kara's more pen on paper creative, and you're more building stuff creative.
You're not wrong. I mean, you haven't actually seen the stuff that I've drawn. Like, 8 years back, I used to always draw. I stopped because I would only do it for the attention. Yes, I was an attention whore for my sketches.
You still are.
Hey, I've dialed it back a bit. I'm an attention.
I thought you were just an ordinary hoe when I first met you, to be honest.
Oh, I thank you. Well, at least my reputation holds. Anyway, when I used to do the sketches, I will admit that I would spend like up to 12 hours trying to like make it perfect, even by the millimeter. I was, you know, trying to make it perfect, and I'd upload it to Facebook, and I'd just sit there waiting for people to like it. And when I get next to no likes, I'd really be upset. In fact, there was one where I spent an entire day drawing this huge Batman sketch, and if I had to guess, maybe it was approximately actually how big? Yeah, it was about as big as a door. Let's call it that, because you know the piece of paper was taped to the back of my door. You know, I drew this whole thing, shown it off to me mates. My mate turned to me and said, "I like that so much, I want to buy it off you." So you can imagine the confidence boost when he said that. But then you can imagine how insulted I felt when he said, "I've got 50p." So he wanted to buy something that I spent the entire day drawing, thinking he was going to ask for a tenner or something. No, he offers me 50p. Now, if I go through Facebook, I could probably find a conversation.
You never know.
And
You could have tried to start a bidding war.
Well, here's the thing. He said 50p, and then his girlfriend jumped in and said, "Well, I've got 10p, so there's 60p. So I think they were being fucking serious. And even like right now, I'm like trying to make it sound long-winded because I'm trying to load up my laptop because I want to load up Facebook so I can actually read it out to you. Hang on. Right, so loading up Facebook now.
My computer hates Facebook Messenger.
Why? Like, what do you mean? Just go slow or something?
I go on the website and sometimes it doesn't load. Because I use a specific browser.
Right.
And it has like a little messenger add-on where it's at the side and you click it and it brings it out and pops it up. But sometimes it'll just freeze the whole browser, like it's taking too long to load. If I use that
I get you.
It's fine, but messenger calls just lag my computer out and sometimes even just stop my internet on my computer altogether.
Found the conversation.
Oh.
So starting off with the friends, and then I responds. That's epic. Can I buy it off you? OMG, you really want to buy it? I have 40p. 50p question mark? And of course, I felt really insulted by this, but I felt as if, do you know what, if I give it as a gift, then I will feel better about it rather than selling it for such an insulting price. So I just said to him, how about you make the journey and it's yours for nothing? And he just said, deal. So I basically gave it to him for free. I don't know how long it was on his girlfriend's wall, but I do know that they did put it up on the wall. They were really grateful for it, which is all fine and dandy. But 50p for this sketch, you know what I mean? It was one of them where it was insulting. I actually felt better to give it away rather than just sell it for that price.
Yeah.
In fact, that was 2009. That was. So, what's that then? That's 12 years ago, isn't it?
Imagine they've still got it on the wall today.
Yeah. So, Christian, when you get the chance, if you are interested, you could go through my Facebook wall. You can see the type of sketches that I used to do. And like I said, I'd upload them. And like even this one, where there's a lot of detail in it, took me hours to do. The size of it is 58 centimeters by 32. And I only got 7 likes for it. I will admit that when it came to getting that attention, it really meant a lot when people would say just the slightest comments. But I quickly learned that you shouldn't do creativity like that for that attention, because If you get it, then great. But if you don't get it, you're gonna feel like shit.
You're a
And
horse.
and Cara, I do have to ask, with you like designing stuff and uploading it, have you noticed that? Like, has something similar happened to you?
I've sold some work before in the past.
So
I've
you've
still
actually
got,
sold
like,
stuff?
Yeah, for about like 20 quid, 50. It's when I used to like work in the vault. It used to be the shop. I probably sold like one or two pieces. I still got some prints actually from that I need to get rid of.
Well, that's actually pretty good. How long did it take you to draw or edit that thing that you sold for 20 quid?
I can't remember because it was back in college and there were pieces that I did when I was supposed to be doing work.
Right, okay. But yeah, it's like, I would say, like, from what I've seen of the stuff that you do, I would say 20 to 50 quid is a fair price. Oh, here we go. So, just got the message. So, Sam wants to join us as well. So, it'll be interesting to get him on this topic as well, because I know he does something similar.
Yes, he does.
Like, he does.
Yes.
Yes, he does do a lot of creativity regarding Photoshop. And speak of the devil, there he is. Hello, Sam.
Welcome, Samuel.
Hello.
Right, we were
on
just
the topic
talking then. Go on, Christian, you explain it.
of Stephen, Cara, and other people's artworks that they've doodled, and then we got onto your type of art and creativity, what you do with Photoshop, I believe it is.
I kind of just abandoned that.
Fucking hell. What was I saying before we started
I did
this?
that like
I
did that like
Hang on,
last year.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I was saying to Christian before we started this, I'm really interested to hear what Cara has to say, what Lucy has to say, and what Sam has to say. And as soon as you start talking, yeah, don't do that no more. So go on, why don't you do it anymore?
Sorry.
His voice is a high-pitched whine. You don't
Wow.
do that no more.
Okay.
I was taking
That's
the
the
piss, but
answer.
go on, why did you abandon that?
I kind of just got bored.
Like father, like
Okay.
son, abandonment issues.
Wow, that got dark quick. So,
Don't make me say it. I'll make it darker.
don't you dare, Cara. Don't you dare keep it PG.
PG-12. Because we didn't have hard enough for 13.
No, because what I was saying, like, we briefly discussed how, myself in particular, how I would do whatever creative, and I'd want the positive attention, like people liking it, giving me compliments and all that. Were you like that? Yes, I was an attention whore. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Sam, were you like that when you were doing your artwork?
No.
Okay, fair enough. On topic. We should really have this conversation again sometime.
Cara, just
Yeah.
do it, please, just do it.
Anyway, moving forward.
Do it!
I can't.
Oh,
That joke's
yeah,
gone. I can't say it.
Moving forwards, the reason why I wanted to talk to you about it as well is, whereas I may have started, as in Christian's words, being an attention whore for artwork, I gradually got out of that. I started doing it more for myself. Cara, your opinions on that? Like, have anything like that, where you started to evolve with your artwork?
My style and ideas bounce like an ADHD child. So
I know you were making a joke, but I am curious to hear more.
So I can't honestly remember. I remember drawing as a kid and then getting really into it at school. Animation was a no-go. Fucking hated that shit. Never again. And then it kind of just evolved me going to college doing photography and graphic design. And then after that, I still kind of draw and do a bit of Photoshop every now and again.
Sam, what about yourself? Like, you said that you obviously got bored of the Photoshop and that, but would you say you go in phases where 1 minute you're in a creative phase, you get bored of it, and then you start again with the same creativity, or you try something new?
No.
If it's anything like me, you tend to bounce from different things until your focus and attention comes back to what you used to do. Because
Well,
I get
obviously-
bored so easily with some things that I just lose interest in. The amount of games
Well-
I've started and never finished.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, what was your Cyberpunk? You were really excited for that, and you never got past the
I've
tutorial,
played the
did you?
6-hour prologue and I'm like, do I have the attention to continue?
Yeah, because whereas I may have my own version of what to say when it comes to creativity, before I get into that, Christian, when I
Oh,
started
you
talking to
acknowledge
you,
me now.
yeah, I'm acknowledging you.
You were acknowledged throughout this whole thing.
You may now speak. No, seriously, like when we first started talking, like what actually formed our friendship was you recently bought a 3D printer, and since I had owned a 3D printer for a good few years prior to meeting you, you had all these questions and you were asking me. So, what got you into 3D printing?
I'm sorry, but I thought we met by you finding my phone number on a bathroom.
And mark the time, people, for Christian's first terrible joke.
Hey.
Moving forwards.
Wait,
yeah.
the others weren't jokes?
Well, put it this way, we let him think they were jokes, but yeah, just leave it at that. Bless you, Cara. I'm great. Now the internet is going to be blessed with the sound of your squeaky sneeze.
I'm sorry, but that just sounded like she just snapped a mouse in half.
Oh god.
Do I
think
want to
something
ask how
snapped
you
after
know what
that.
that sounds like?
No, you do
I've got
not.
a cat who likes to eat like living mice occasionally.
And I could tell by the tone in your voice that was sarcasm. Moving
No,
forward.
that wasn't sarcasm. That's true.
Bollocks. Bollocks. I don't believe you. Bollocks.
It's very hard. It's very hard to tell with you.
My cat brought a baby bat in once. We thought it was a live bat, but eaten in half. But no, then it got up and flew away.
Lovely.
Daddy, catch it, catch the bat.
Catch it, Daddy. The dog's pissing on the floor.
Oh, what's that meme from? One user quoting.
It's like an Irish family chasing a fucking bat around the kitchen.
That's it. Yeah, yeah, I remember.
You
All
almost got
sorts
it,
of
Terry.
things started happening.
The dog's pissed on the floor.
Anyway, Christian, what actually got you into 3D printing?
Well, I was always really into it, just thinking that you can create something from nothing, really. But for my 18th, I just came into a bit of money, so obviously put that in savings. I thought, if I'm ever going to get a 3D printer, and I've got the money to do so, I'm going to get one with bells and whistles.
Yeah, I get you.
So I just did.
Fair enough. Because I know that you were asking me 20 questions about how to, how to clean it, how to do this, how to do that. And as I said, that's how our friendship formed, because we had something in common.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I think it's disconnected.
Perfect timing, Stephen. Perfect timing. Somebody invite him back. Everybody
It's still in
starts.
the party.
Everybody
He's
starts
not-
swearing at him so we can hear this in recording. Stephen, you're a twat. You can die.
Now
He's
I'm fucking back. Jesus Christ, I was connected for a second.
I thought it was my connection, and jeez, I thought I'd have to pause the podcast recording.
No, it's alright. I'll just cut out 10 minutes of however long that was. Right. So when it comes to me with creativity, like Cara, I went through stages, but with what was that giggle, Christian?
He went through
No,
puberty
was that
of
your
creativity.
I think it was the yeah right.
He went through puberty of creativity.
And plus, Stephen's stages and my stages are completely different. He's like a normal
Hot flush.
staircase. I'm like a helter-skelter.
No, but the point I'm getting at is when I started off by drawing.
When I was a young boy.
Are you? Sorry. Sorry. Did the middle of my sentence interrupt the beginning of yours?
You know the song where it goes, when I was a young boy.
When he was a young warthog.
No.
No.
Just the disappointment in that. No.
Stop it. Get him some help.
Right, for the third time. When I was
A young boy.
when I
You shouldn't make it so easy to meme you, Stephen. God.
yeah, true.
You're
Yeah,
so
so-
old and brain dead.
Right, so well, we know the episode. We know the name of this episode, don't we?
Shits and
It's-
giggles.
Christian's a dick.
No. It is Stephen tries to be serious. We don't give a fuck.
Oh.
PG-13, Stephen. Oh no,
I
it's
thought it was
PG.
PG-12.
PG-12 because we can't afford the extra one.
Anyway,
When I
God knows
was
how many
a
times I've
young
tried to say-
boy.
Christian, please.
Yes, sir.
So,
Harder.
what I was trying to say was, when it came to my I can hear you fucking laughing. I can hear you fucking laughing.
You're either gonna say it now, or we're gonna have to change the topic because you're just too funny, Stephen.
Right, okay, change the topic slightly.
It's the face, and I
So-
can't even see it.
Since I can't talk about creativity in a serious manner, I will talk about it in a more of a humorous manner. And this is a true story.
You can do that.
Wait,
Yes, I can
put
do
in
that,
for 2
believe it or not.
seconds, right? Best thing ever about creativity. Videos are amazing, but one video that I can guarantee that can make our special guest Carol laugh is bread falling over. Just a slice of bread falling over. Funniest thing on the internet.
Right, I've seen that clip. Cara, do you laugh at that?
Yeah.
Simple things impress simple minds, I suppose.
It's just so convenient.
Moving forwards.
I don't think you can breathe.
Seriously, moving forwards. This is a true story. Back when I was on Job Seekers, I used to hang out with this lad. I'm not going to tell you his name.
We'll call him
Or-
David.
Fuck it, yeah, we'll call him David. So I was talking to this David lad, and me and him, we got on fairly well, and I spent a lot of time chilling in his flat. Around about that time, I was planning on getting into tattooing, because if you let me speak before, you would know that I obviously am good at art. But we won't talk about that, shall we? Anyway, so I tried to get into tattooing, and I want an apprenticeship, but they all turned me down, and if you've seen my artwork, a lot of people believe that the people I was talking to may have saw me as a threat. That does sound egotistic, but whether it's true or not, it's up for debate. So anyway, got a tattooing kit, and I decided to practice on fake skin, but it wasn't good enough. So what do I go and do? I think, fuck it, I'm going to practice on myself. So I do a little star on my leg, and yes, I can prove that. But it doesn't end there, does it? With having this tattooing kit, David, as we will call him, he wanted to have a go at it. So, whereas I only done a star, he writ the words hi into his hands, and with him being a Welsh person, I'm very proud of being Welsh, he thought, right, okay, what are Welsh people known for? Sheep. I'll do a sheep on my leg. He actually tattooed a cartoon sheep on his leg, which got infected. But then here's the thing, he had this mate, don't know his name, but this mate came round and he had a girlfriend. And the fella had only been with this girl for no longer than a week. Found out about me and David's, messing with tattooing kits, and was like, could you tattoo my girlfriend's name on my arm in Chinese symbols? Before I continue, what's your opinion about tattoos when it comes to getting certain, like getting names, bands, whatever?
Names,
Terrible.
It
Don't get
depends. You have to be that type of couple where you have
You
to
are
be
Okay.
a
serious.
couple. Some
Well, not-
people have
yeah.
had names of like this mum and stuff, and to
That's
be honest, it's a bit weird because someone sees a name tattooed on you that you ask, and then either way your answer, it's still gonna be a bit, oh, you're one of those people. There's
I'd say
no.
as long as you can cover it up for work purposes, if you want it shown, you can, but just make sure it's not something that people can take offence or can lead the wrong way. But
To be fair, I've got a gingerbread man on my arm, and he's eating a chip that kind of looks like a dick. So.
I've always been told if you're having a tattoo, make sure you can cover it up, just for sensibility reasons.
Fair point. And Sam, what's your opinion on tattoos?
Ones with names?
In general, like different types, you got the patterns, you got the names, you got band logos, like what's your opinion on
I'm
them?
sorry, but we don't know what Sam looks like. He could be like a 30-year-old tattooed butch man from, I don't know.
Well, he's 16. He's not legal to have a tattoo.
No.
He could have been to
I was
prison,
17 when I got my first tattoo.
Yeah, Cara, shut
Oh,
up.
look at you. I had to wait until I was 18.
So go on, Sam, you were
Your
saying?
opinion, Sam.
I wasn't saying anything.
No, I'm asking you your opinion on tattoos.
Tattoos of other people's names, I think they're terrible.
Tattoos in general?
Okay.
Tattoos in general, that's fine, I don't mind. It's just when you get other people's names tattooed onto you, I think is terrible.
Oh, you've seen that
'Cause there's-
tattoo show? Sorry, Steve,
Go on,
you've
go on.
seen that
No, go on,
tattoo
you first.
show where it's like couples or exes or friends.
Yes.
Like a little joke. It's like you must be as long as if you're going with an ex or something, it's only going to end badly. Like if you're going to have a trash can that says dumped and you break up with someone, or you're gonna have something that could offend them for life. And it's like, oh God, I think the only people I'd choose to trust my tattoo is probably Stephen and Lucy.
Well, the reason why I'm mentioning this is we've just discussed that tattoos in general are okay, but when it comes to getting a name, it can be questionable. Now, my opinion is the same towards band logos. Like, I know people who, they listen to a band, they like the band, they get the band logo as a tattoo, and then
The
a week
band
later
breaks
they
up.
don't listen. Oh, yeah,
No, it's not.
yeah.
It's not just them breaking up though. It's like finding out that one of the members is a dancer or something like I Prevail. It's.
That's news to me, but that's actually a valid point. Like,
I don't know if it is
could
I
be.
Prevail, but there is a band that Pans used to listen to and that he doesn't know more because one of the band members got done and charged for being a nonce.
Yeah, so we're talking like, if you had their logo on it, you know, you're basically marked then, essentially. The reason why I'm mentioning this is I've got my own opinions about it. So going back to that story, as I said, using a fake name, David and myself were sitting in his apartment and his mate came round with his girlfriend and the fella was like, tattoo my girlfriend's name to my arm in Chinese symbols, and he'd only been together for a week. So,
Stupid.
yeah, I know. So, a few hours go by and he's tattooing the name and the fella's just looking at his girlfriend. You can see there's love in his eyes, but she's clearly not making eye contact. She's bored off her tits. And, yeah, the tattoo's done. He looks at it in the mirror and he goes, wow, that's amazing. That, oh, cheers, thanks for that fella. You know, he pays him, I think it's like, what, 20, 15, and he pays him some sum of money. And, he, you know, they get gone and they leave. Well, no idea how this friend of mine managed to keep a straight face this entire time. But he, turns out, he didn't tattoo the girl's name. He was just laughing and he just shown me his phone. He only tattoos in Chinese curry and chips.
That's why you don't get a foreign language tattooed on you unless you are, know that language.
Or
you
in
know
the
what it
country
means.
that speaks that language.
Yeah.
And there's something else as well. Apparently, now I don't know if this is true, but apparently it was only a week after that he ended up breaking up with that girl anyway. So, whereas he's walking around with curry and chips on his arm, you know, it's a silver lining.
It is. You can go to China and just show his arm if he wants a food order.
What you want for today? I want that.
My dad's got my name written in Chinese on his arm, but he says if I ever piss him off, then it turns to egg fried rice.
Okay.
Probably already says egg fried rice, to be fair.
He got it done
Yeah.
in India though. That's the funny thing. I believe it was in India he got it done, or was it a different one in India?
Oh, it definitely does not say your name.
No, he got a different one in India. It was very funny because him and his mate went to India. He got Delhi belly, but funniest story about a tattoo I've ever heard is they're at the airport coming home, and his mate got it done that day, and he had this cream called Germally on his arms, to help it heal and stuff like that, keep it safe. And one of the guards got his finger, a little stripe in the middle of it, looked at it, uttered something to his mate. His mate uttered something to him, which we perceive as you're getting AIDS, because he ran off as fast as he could, leaving the gate open to go wash his finger.
Wow, okay. It's like, as I've been scrolling through memes, there was one picture that I saw of this woman, and the tattoo on her back was clearly a huge turd with flies around it. But the caption is what's funny. She was dating a tattoo artist. Obviously, it's not uncommon for tattooers to be like, tell you what, you're my partner, or you're a family member, or close friends. I'll do this for a fraction of the price or free. So that's what he does. He's starting to do this tattoo for her, and she thinks it's this like masterpiece or whatever. But it turns out she doesn't know that he knows. She doesn't know. Yes. So obviously he does this huge turd on her back. So yeah, I just thought that was hilarious. I've heard a similar story, like involving like some fella. He was being a dick and he wanted like a picture of his dog on his arm or something. But then apparently, like, keep in mind this is on his arm, so I don't know. I doubt this is true because surely he would have looked down and seen his arm and seen he was not getting a picture of his dog on his arm. But apparently what the tattoo artist did was just done a little doghouse. So he came back in and was like, where's the dog? In the doghouse.
So this place in New York, and since tattoos are, because tattoos are art, they are. But he says, but they're not forever. But you can pay them or they pay you or something like that. So when you die, they cut a square around your tattoo, remove the skin and the tattoo, and preserve it and put it in a frame for their art museum.
First off, it's fucking ew.
No, that's so cool. Because people have like full-on bodysuits and like art. So
Yeah,
you
I'm sorry,
literally
Cara.
can
They're not
be
skinning
preserved.
people alive for the full body skin. Like if
No,
they've
because,
got a
yeah, that's the
tattoo.
point. That was the point I was going to make. What do you do if you've got a sleeve like what I've got? Or if you've got, like, as Cara put it, a full body tattoo?
Tattoo since when?
For years, like before I knew you.
Oh, so he's got more tattoos than me.
Yeah.
You didn't
Like,
seem
we're
the
talking,
type
like,
of
my
person
left
to
arm.
have a tattoo.
No, like, my left arm, like, below me elbow, like, the majority...
Hello. He's come out again. Instead of gangster grandma, it's gangster Stephen Grandad. Tattoo bad guy in the yard. So how's your day, Cara?
He's
There we go, I've connected again. This is going to be fun editing later, isn't it?
Oh no, you're leaving this in.
Oh, yeah, yeah. If you want to leave it in, that's fine. But you know the intro that you make a comment saying about me disconnecting so people know why I'm going quiet.
Oh, I will have fun with this.
Oh, God. Just going to be the AI going, lol, JK, Steven's internet shit.
No, he's more thinking of Granddad's disconnected from McDonald's Wi-Fi again.
Yeah, fuck it, you can put that if you want. I mean, at the end of the day, I've kind of taken over when it comes to the editing. I may as well leave you something to do.
Yeah, you bastard.
Hey, you might insult me, but what happened yesterday with was it yesterday? With editing episode 3. It took, like, episode 1 and 2, it took you about 4 days each to get them sorted. And with episode 3, I ended up sorting it, cocked up, and had to do it again. It took me 3 hours to edit it twice.
Yes, but we
But
have
it's taking you
agreed
4
the
days to do
reason
it
it
once.
took so long is because I have other prospers to do.
I've got other shit to do as well.
You work on some armour for a hobby.
It's mainly called
not
being
other
lazy.
shit.
Yeah, the thing is, Christian, as I said before, obviously you've got shit to do, so I don't mind taking the responsibility. I do side with Sam and say you can be fucking lazy, but, you know,
So can
you do have
everybody.
some responsibilities. Yeah, I suppose we can be a bit lazy at times.
Yes, it sounds not just me.
Yeah, but it's
Oh.
only
Nope.
you that literally sends down a voice note through Alexa to
Oh
your mum
my-
to bring bin bags up.
No.
Yeah, no, Christian, she has got a point there.
I did it
I've lost
once.
count
I
how
did
many
it
times she went,
once.
oh, no, bollocks.
No,
I've
I
lost
did it
count how
once
many
and the rest of the times were memes.
No, bollocks, mate. I have lost count how many times I've heard you go, okay, Google, send me mum a message, need more bin bags.
Oh, I can send my mother a friendly reminder, can't I?
Do you know what works just as well?
Walk
Getting off your ass,
downstairs.
going downstairs and getting them yourself.
Yes, but in my household it'd be a bit weird me coming in, we need bin bags and buggering off back upstairs.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
How would it be
No.
weird?
'Cause it just
It would not. It would
just
not be
odd
weird.
in my household.
Not really. I mean, I've had it in my house where I've literally walked out my room, went downstairs, and my mum's like, "You alright? Yeah, yes, Sam, just getting a drink," and go back up. It's the same fucking thing.
It's
You
not
leave your
that literally
room.
going down for a purpose to get something, not just to...
Yeah, you're going down
It's the
to
same
get
with a bin
bags.
bag.
It's not though.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me, how is it different?
Because what if my legs were broken and I was bedridden?
That's if.
So hang on a minute. So your argument is a hypothetical scenario.
Yes.
That is complete bullshit,
That
mate.
shows how lazy he
Stephen,
is.
you are talking to the person who's got voice-activated lights.
So back to our original point, Christian. You know about you being lazy. Anyways, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is, I've taken over when it comes to... That might actually drown out my voice, so stop it, please. Moving on. Christian, pack it in. Christian. So, going back to what I was saying before, I've obviously taken the responsibility for the majority of editing with the episode, so hopefully we'll be able to upload them fairly quickly. And like Cara, when Christian giggles, I get extremely paranoid. The fuck you laughing at?
You gotta keep the elderly busy nowadays.
Fucking Christ. Also, yeah, Christian, what is that noise that I keep hearing from your room now? Dude, what is that?
Oh, that's someone leaving the house.
Right, because it sounds like the noise that, you know, when you go into a dentist.
Never heard
You know
of
what I
going
mean?
into my dentist. No, I've never.
Well, you've never been to the dentist?
Of course I've been to the fucking dentist. I've never heard it whilst going into the dentist.
Whatever. Anyway, I'm going to, you know what, against my better judgments, I'm going to try and
Just get
risk.
to the point.
Well, apparently I fucking can't! So I'm going to risk going back to what we were talking about before, and hopefully I won't get interrupted again.
When I was a young boy.
You... Oh my god. No, because obviously when it comes to creativity, it's something that I'm fairly passionate about. And that's why I wanted your opinions about it, because my creativity, to say it simply, it's vast. Like, I started off with drawing, and that led on to physically building stuff. And like even doing game design, even trying animation. So, going back to what Cara was saying, what was it that you just lost interest when it came to animation, Cara? Was it just you didn't have the patience for it?
Basically.
That's
We're
fair enough.
all Western then, basically.
And plus, I'm not comfortable doing 3D stuff. I'm not comfortable using paint. So when it came to stuff like that, I kind of just gave up. Because about my mates making plasticine dicks.
Okay, fair enough. But what about stop motion? Have you ever tried that?
That's even worse. It's so much time.
Fair enough. The reason why I mention like patience, yous know me. I'm very patient.
Yes.
Like, yes. So I'm a very patient man. There was a time where it wasn't so much, but the point is, being an adult, I've become a very patient. That's the long and short of it. But when it comes to the projects that I've done, even when I've done game design, I've literally spent an entire week just designing an inventory system for a game. But then I've got this really frustrating trait, and I know Christian's got this same trait, where instead of naming stuff, you just spam random letters.
Yes, like our
So-
email. We have a back
Exactly,
and forth
exactly.
email. It's like
Yeah.
DFWDDD.
Yeah, the email we use to send back and forth trying to sort out this podcast, obviously it's just been, it's like you just headbutted the keyboard and went, yeah, that'll do. I'm like that when it comes to naming stuff. Well, I used to be, should I say. I would design whatever. I'd have like, you know, the enemies detecting the player, you know, the bullets flying out the gun, and you know, making contact, you know, with all that stuff. I must have been working on it for about 3 months straight, and I thought, right, it's about time now that I create an inventory system. I just couldn't get it right, but eventually I got it sorted, and it took me a week. And when I finally got it done, I tried to implement it into the rest of the codes. I couldn't remember what the other stuff was. But the problem is, I thought, do you know what? I'm not going to stress about it now. I can figure that out in time. How about I make it look pretty? I end up, you know, putting in like images that I've designed to make the inventory actually look like a decent inventory. Well, even though, well, and that's a bad thing. Whatever, I don't give a shit. Honestly, no, saying how it is. Before I continue, how is being called a nerd a bad thing? It's like, oh my god, you pay attention in school. Ah, fuck you. Yeah, you're not gonna fuck up your life later on. Ah, you fucking sad git. It's like we discussed on previous episodes of the podcast. Those kind of people that I've personally known, they've either done time or they're currently in jail. Oh yeah, they're fucking hard, them, aren't they? Fucking throwing away their lives. Yeah, call me a nerd. I don't give a shit.
That was like a little wound I just poked. Then you went into it.
I don't give a shit, mate.
Nah, Stephen, there is some trauma behind that subject because you generally went for it on that then.
No, there is. Don't get me wrong. I'll admit that I did get bullied in high school, but it wasn't being called a nerd. So anyway,
I think that's done.
sorry, what was that, Sam?
Sorry, people keep entering my room.
Right, okay. Anyway, so going back to what I was saying with this coding, I even know it was only pixel art, because, like, if you've ever played Stardew Valley or games similar to that, like the art style, I mean, like, I do love the old style of pixel art, especially in modern day, because we're talking, years ago, where it's just Pac-Man, where, talking next to no pixels, next to no colours, like the first Super Mario game and all that. They are good games, but they're very basic stuff. So nowadays, where you've got the pixel art, but they've got the engines to have really in-depth stories, crafting systems, all kinds of stuff like that. I love games like that. So my games that I've tried to build are heavily inspired by that art style. So it says a lot, the fact that I designed this pixelated style for the inventory system, and it drops the frame rate. Now, Christian, you might know this, and I don't think the other two will, but when it comes to frame rate and gaming, it's very important. Like, Christian, how much do you know about frame rates and that?
Oh, a lot.
Right, okay, so when I say about 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second, you know what I'm on about, don't you?
Yes.
So for those listening, to put it in short, if you've got a game that plays at 15 frames per second, to put it in a phrase, you're not going to enjoy the game. It's going to run too slow. So with this game running at 60 frames per second, which is ideal, and then putting in this this inventory system, it immediately drops to 3 frames per second. Obviously, that's no fucking good, is it? As I said, 3 months designing, a further month designing the inventory system, and in the end, I just end up scrapping it. And I will admit, I felt like shit afterwards. So,
You look like
time.
one too.
Christian, what time are we on?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't even looked yet. Fucking hell, 47 minutes.
47 minutes, yeah. Well,
Not
by the,
like
by the
it has
sound.
been you rambling on about it.
Yeah, it has, and I've been trying to get used to talk, but you don't want to fucking talk.
I have been trying.
I'd get a word in.
It is
Don't
hard
give
to
me
get
that
to
shit,
words
Cara.
in.
You are chatting fucking shit right there. Like, what's your opinion about this, Cara? Come on then, fucking
you
talk
do
then.
that-
I'm literally giving you
But you know what
opportunity
you
to say
do,
something.
I zone out because you've been rambling. I've literally been trying to fight my way to stay awake because I've been falling asleep.
Well, why didn't you say something now? I've been asking your opinion about the topic, so fucking speak.
I like bread.
Proof right there. Sorry to interrupt you, Christian, but proof right there. Come on, Cara.
You wanna fucking
What was that?
My
3,
God.
2, 1, fight!
Fight.
So, Cara, creativity and bread, how does that work?
You make it. You admire the aroma of warm baking bread, and then you demolish it.
Well, I can imagine like that Simpson scene where Homer's trapped in hell and he's just forced to eat all the donuts in the world and he asks for more. That'd be you just with garlic bread.
I understand. It's only been 20 minutes.
Stephen,
Yes.
shut up, let us speak, thank you.
What do you think I'm doing?
Like he's
I may have said-
silent, just letting you speak, and then you just say, "Shut up."
I may have got a little
Shut
frustrated
up.
there. Did you spot it?
You're speaking again.
Yeah, no shit. I'm waiting for you to fucking talk.
Actually, let's talk about the next podcast, which we'll be recording on Saturday. Which is positive
Oh,
masculinity.
yeah.
We're not going to go into it, but we have a special guest.
Yes, and no doubtably, by the way this episode's been going, it's going to
Special
be
guest.
sat there silent, wanting you to talk, and you won't say anything.
Oh no.
Hang on, hold that thought.
Well, no, we really can't speak because he said we've got to hold it. But I'm holding a little fluffy baby.
And I'm back.
Well, can you go again? We actually managed to get some words in.
When I'm editing this, if you're chatting shit, I'm gonna find where you live and smack you on, boy.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, well, I'm too fucking lazy, see? We all get lazy at times.
Sam, I know
Yeah,
where
I'll take
you
the friend
live.
back.
Yes, I know, and I know for a fact you are gonna do nothing about it.
Wait till Halloween, I'll get a friend to come slash your tyres.
Right.
Somehow
Me.
Steve
I'll do it.
Cara know that. No, you know that friend though.
Cara, no,
Give me a
don't
knife
trust
and I'll
Cara
stab
with a knife.
anything. I'm
Yeah,
from
don't-
Sheffield.
No, don't trust Carl for knife. When I remember she messaged me saying in her own words, "How do I take apart this vape thing?" and I'm giving her
Cuts it
advice. She tries to open it for fucking knife, and of course she stabs herself in the thumb.
Stuck.
Yeah, but you get a pair of pliers, you don't get a fucking knife.
Yes, but what casual lady of the evening carries pliers?
What casual lady carries a fucking knife?
Well, nowadays,
A
a lot.
Yorkshire one.
Now, in this scenario, nowadays, a lot.
Yes, Stephen. No, you men, you've got to stay inside after 6 p.m.
That's fine, I'll just get my dick chopped off.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Cara. What's the deal with all that? Like, what was all that about?
Basically, things kicked off because a girl went missing like ages ago. A body turned up. Turned out a male copper, killed her, and there's been uproar about like women saying they're not safe.
What, did she like get kidnapped at 6:01, so if we stop it at 6, everybody will be safe?
I don't know, but she's there was an uproar like saying that with people coming out saying we haven't been safe for years. Women have been killed and like sexually assaulted and stuff, and nothing's really happened. And it's just, it's only just now that Boris has acknowledged that we still have a problem in this day and age, and one of the MPs came up with the brilliant idea saying, oh, let's have a curfew for the men.
That won't solve anything.
No, it won't.
Not being funny, but it's just like, can you just imagine the criminals being like, yeah, we got to, we got to break into this house, but we got curfew, so let's see if we can get it done in the next 5 minutes, yeah.
How I see it, if there's proof that a guy has like been following you, I think a woman has a right to fucking deck him, and if he gets hurt, and she shouldn't be charged.
Well, before we even go on to the topic of, assaulting someone who might be minding their own fucking business, going on to what you were saying about the curfew, if I'm remembering things correctly, didn't he have some form of curfew involving COVID?
Yeah, I suppose I'd think.
Help. Steven, check your phone. Help.
I can't remember if we had like a time or anything. It was just, we're in lockdown. You can't go anywhere. Drink in your house and just suffer.
I can't.
Sorry to interrupt you, Cara, but if you've hit with Christian saying in his own words with a muffled help, he's just sent a picture to the group chat. Feel free to have a look. He's got a cat sitting on his face.
Oh, it's rather
Not my problem, mate. Not my problem.
I leave everything to Sam.
Wait, what?
Hey Sam, you're the lucky bugger. You get all those cubes he's been saving up.
Fuck that,
Yeah.
everything buried with me.
Damn it.
No, but going back to what we were saying about that curfew and that, I do believe that there was a lockdown. Sorry, there was a curfew of sorts involving COVID, where it's you can't go out. Sorry, go on.
When we kind of came out of the first lockdown and pubs came open, it was like 11 p.m. for people to get out and everyone to go. That's the only curfew thing that I really remember.
Like, obviously, I'm an antisocial fuck. I'll be the first to admit that.
Really?
So, Christian, if you want to be sassy, that's fine, but don't do it while you got a cat sitting on your face.
Don't worry, it's only pussy that obviously got in his face.
Nom nom.
Don't be saying nom nom to that. Anyway, so going back to what we were saying about the curfew and that, it's like, I know that, and let's face it, Cara, I'm putting you on the spot here. You and many other people, when it first started, didn't believe it was that serious. So of course, people like yourself were going out. But hang on a minute. But in Cara's defence, when the reality hits, oh no, this is actually real. Even Cara started wearing a mask. And it's like, when I do go out, it's not often, but when I do go out, I always bring a mask with me. Now here's the thing, I've got asthma, but I still wear a mask. So when you have these people who say, oh, I can't wear a mask because I've got asthma, you're chatting shit, mate. And then you have, what was it? I think, Cara, you sent a link, like there was a TikTok or something, where this girl was saying, I can't wear a mask because I've got mental disabilities. It's like, what's that got to do
That wasn't
with...
me, but I do remember.
Yeah, so someone sent us a link of this girl doing that, and what was her argument? It was just that she has a mental illness, and it's like,
Basically, I understand if you're like high anxiety and stuff, but if your anxiety is that high, you wouldn't be going at the house anyway.
right, okay, that is a very...
And
Go on, go on.
and for people with Tourette's as well, they can they you know, if their tics are extreme, they can easily take off their mask and stuff. So it's probably just safer for them to just like be excluded from wearing it.
Yeah, but what you've just said
Especially
then...
when some tics do like, you know, some people have tics where they will literally just constantly breathe in and they won't breathe out, and or they will literally hold their breath for ages and they just can't help it. So for them wearing a mask, it's probably not very safe.
He's moving,
Right.
now I can breathe.
Oh, okay, good for you, mate. Anyway, back to what we were saying. The point that you just made then is very valid. If they simply can't wear it because of mental health or mental illness, that makes sense. It actually, I think the point I'm getting at is to say, oh, I can't wear it because of mental illness. They need to clarify a bit more. But as you've just said, if they are that bad, then maybe they shouldn't be going out. But of course, humans are social creatures. Even those who are antisocial, like myself, need to socialise from time to time. So I get it. If they need to go out for whatever reason, fair enough. And if they choose not to wear a mask because of that reason, they are obviously going to get negative comments because of what I've just said. But to my understanding, I believe it's on the government website. You can print off this slip, which basically so it basically states, it's basically a pass for saying, look, I can't wear a mask because of this.
Not again.
And oh, the cat's back on your face. Christian, just move it for Christ's sake.
Look, this is comfy.
Yeah, but we can barely hear you.
Well, the cat's come through you.
He is comfy on me. Hold it, I'm sorry, moving on. Come
No,
on.
you're just
Christian,
making noises now.
Yeah, if you're gonna talk, then move the cat
I have
because
now
we are
moved the cat.
recording. Right, okay.
I have input.
Oh, go on then.
Once
If
he
you-
actually has an input.
Yeah, if he's actually got useful input, go on. I am actually curious. Go on.
I used to find wearing a mask difficult, but that's due to the mask itself. I have recently found a mask that's just as safe and just as protective, but is a different material. So I believe there's all different masks out there, but people think if one mask doesn't, you can't breathe right in it. They're all the same.
Well, that's the thing that I've noticed as well, because I have to wear my glasses when I'm out. And I've noticed some masks are better for, you know, to reducing the condensation and not at all. It's how the shape, your eyes and stuff. If I don't get the right shape on, then I'm basically blind.
Yeah. No, because that is a good point. It's like when it comes to wearing a mask, like there's many reasons for why you don't want to wear, condensation being one of them. As you pointed out, you can get different variants of masks, so if one doesn't work for you, you can try another. But what I was going to say when it comes to, you know, the excuses, you know, the government websites. Now, I haven't seen this thing, but to my understanding, this is like, let's face it, the government's not exactly doing a good job here. That's my opinion, just saying how it is. That's what I personally believe. But their solution is, oh, okay, there are people who can't wear masks. Okay, we will provide this slip for these people that they can print out. You don't have to pay for it. You just have to print it out, job done. If anyone has a go at you, you show them a slip, and that's it, job done. But then you get
Can
these
anyone
people...
do that?
Yeah, anyone can do that. That's it. Now, this is the point I'm going to make. Anyone can do that. And yet you have these people who say they can't wear a mask for various reasons, but they don't get this slip. And I'm not saying all of them are like this, but you can't help but think you're just being lazy.
And I know.
'Cause-
I think most of the time as well, it's just people defying the government because they just don't like them. But at the end of the day, if you think about it, if you just follow these stupid rules, they are stupid and some of them are useless. We're going to get through this faster.
Exactly. As I said before, Cara, using you as a prime example, at the beginning, when, you know, the scare was slowly becoming real, you didn't give a shit because you didn't believe it was real.
I still don't
but then
really.
Well, no, but the point is, you still don't care. No, hey, you still have a negative attitude towards it, but the reality's kicked in where it's like, no, this is real. I'm gonna wear a mask. So we're talking if someone like yourself,
I wear a mask because of government guidelines. I try and keep my distance where possible to respect other people. I don't care about myself. If someone's in front of me giving me dirty looks and their mask is like under their nose because I'm close to them, I'm just gonna get closer to piss them off. They should be wearing the mask properly.
that's something else as well. What is the point of people wearing a mask if, like, you know, they're covering, the parts of the face that, you use for fucking breathing? That's what the mask is kind of designed for. And then they don't wear it, like, over their nose, or
Yeah,
even
no.
in some cases, they cut a hole out for the nose. Why?
I think it was like last week when we were in Morrison. But it's like, my mum was queuing for the till, and this old woman was in front of us with her daughter, and her mask was under her nose. And she kept her distance from us, even though we were a bit close, because we were trying to get, keep to one side so that people go up and down the aisle, because that's the queue literally went up the aisle. And she just kept giving us dirty looks because we were closer than what she wanted. So when there was space to go to the till behind her, I fucking went for it, and my mum was like, don't, because she's been giving us dirty looks, give her space. And I'm like, why should I give her space when she's not wearing a mask properly?
Well, we have come to some sort of end. Sadly, due to a connection issue, we have had to end it here. Probably for the best, or Steven's head might have popped off lols. But don't worry, no Stevens were critically angry or stressed in this clip, just tortured for an hour. So we'll hope to see you again soon.